News Nation's Libby Dean live outside of the White House tonight. Libby, we just heard from the president. What did he have to say tonight?
Talking about all of these topics tonight, Natasha, and these two, as you mentioned, President Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene going from close allies to seemingly enemies, all in a matter of weeks. This very public breakup with Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. And she said Sunday it's all because she signed on to the Jeffrey Epstein discharge petition. That there is now this very public breakup happening between the two Republicans. Greene saying she hopes to make up with the president someday, but the president instead calling Greene a traitor, pulling his endorsement of her and openly suggesting that he might support a Republican in a primary against her. And then new tonight, as you mentioned, the Congresswoman claiming she was the target of pizza doxing and a pipe bomb threat, saying this fallout with the president could lead to serious attacks on her and her family. The president reacting tonight.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, she says.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think her life is in danger. Frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her.
So all of this tied back to Greene signing onto the Jeffrey Epstein discharge petition. She joined 3 other Republicans in doing so. And what it would do is urge the Justice Department to release those remaining Epstein files. That could get a vote actually as early as Tuesday in the House, but it really does face this uphill battle in the Senate. And then here at the White House, as we know, President Trump has put President Trump and then officials within the administration have also put on this pressure campaign on those Republicans I mentioned who signed on to this petition. So unlikely that the president would ultimately sign off that. So an uphill battle there. This as Representatives Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, who co-sponsored that discharge petition, plan to meet with Epstein survivors this week. They say they plan to formally request that President Trump also meet with those survivors. And we actually asked the White House if the president would take that meeting. They wouldn't say. Instead, in a statement, they claimed, quote, the Trump administration has done more for the victims than Democrats ever have. The Democrat Party did nothing about Epstein for years. They're only pretending to care about these victims now as they attempt to score political points against President Trump. That's the White House reacting tonight to that potential invitation or call from Ro Khanna to meet with Epstein survivors here at the White House. But we do know that the president plans to welcome the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia earlier this week, likely around the same time that those survivors are on Capitol Hill, Natasha.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Libby. And we also know that President Trump recently announced he is scrapping some U.S. tariffs on several commodities. What's the latest there?
Yeah, this was an executive order, Natasha, that was signed on Friday by President Trump. And what it does is it cuts those tariffs on things like coffee, tea, beef, fruit, and also wood and iron. Those are some of the things that are going to be affected by this executive order, which was signed on Friday. And the main focus here is those goods that I just mentioned there. And I want us to take a listen to what the president had to say about this tonight.
We had a great weekend. From an economic standpoint, our prices are coming down very substantially on groceries and things. They're already at a much lower level than they were with the last administration. And we worked on it this weekend, and you're going to see some of the items that were a little bit higher. They were lower than the last administration, but a little bit higher. We're going to have some little price reductions, and in some cases, some pretty good ones.
And that was how President Trump started out this talk and gaggle with reporters there on the tarmac. So certainly a focus for him. And another thing that we've been tracking is President Trump says he wants Americans to gain from the administration's tariffs by giving $2,000 dividend checks. The president saying the potential payouts won't come before Christmas, though. Instead, potentially sometime next year, which, of course, is noting here that would line up with the upcoming midterm elections when those checks could go out to Americans. Now, this is President Trump is set to hit the road to focus on affordability. A White House official actually telling News Nation that President Trump will travel the country, and what he's going to focus on is what many Americans care about, and that's, of course, the economy heading into next year's midterms. Natasha?
Yeah, really interesting to look forward to that. Libby Dean live at the White House with that tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.